What?
Bro.
That's what's happening in the world, people.
Hey, we need that.
Just want you to know.
No, we need it just because he said, oh, wait, hold on. I'll get this hooked up. Let me get this hooked up.
Oh, man. Lex Bub, how you feeling over there?
I'm feeling great. How you guys feeling?
Good. G, you good?
I'm great, man.
You good? Let's do it. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I am Monty Draper.
I am LG.
Lex, B-U-B.
And we're back.
We back.
We're back. Fellas, I don't know about y'all.
Don't be pressing us like that, man.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
That made me uncomfortable. I was nervous. I
was getting text messages like, oh, nigga, just because it's your birthday month, you feel you don't got to do the pod?
It's like, man, this ain't even my fault, man.
Hey, man.
It's totally my fault. Just lack of communication, planning, all this other shit. So we're back, guys. Thank y'all so much for being patient. But a lot of shit did happen, so we got a lot of shit to get to. But like we've been making it a thing, I got to check with my guys first. Lex, start with you, bro. How you doing for real? This is the brothers tap in.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good. Feeling great.
That's good.
That's always good, man.
G, how you feeling? Any new developments for you?
Oh no, I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm great. You know, I just keep my under shit going. That's about it.
Cause I got depression. No, man, it's been a really wild ride. I want to do some shout outs first because I got some really really amazing people doing some exceptional shit. And some of it I've got to be like hands on a part of, and some of it I've gotten to be like a fan for real, or sometimes both. I want to start with Kevin Allen, Irk the Jerk to most of you, and I want to do a sit down with him and like really unpack what this means, this rebranding, this reintroduction to him as himself, but the context is important because of how much of a staple Irk the Jerk is in the landscape of Bay Area rap, of West Coast rap, of independent rap. And being self-made and what it means for both Richmond and Oakland, his success, his alignment with Nip, his alignment with the Jacka, RIP to both of those kings. And anybody who knows me knows how much of a fan I am and what it's meant to stand by him. And so anybody who doesn't know, whatever rock you've been under, Kevin Allen's latest project, Heroes Eventually Die, is out now, doing amazing. And that's another thing too. Shout out to everybody who's been in support, not just Grand National, but as we maneuver into the individual projects. So salute to Kev. Heroes Eventually Die is out already, and that helps us pivot into the amazing Jane Hancock, who called in our last episode and just told us what she has coming. Her project For Real comes out Friday. So salute to sis, salute to bro. It's been an honor to work with two people I consider just geniuses as far as this shit is concerned. Iman Europe, Burn Cycling, Mama Julie, salute to y'all. Had the pleasure to go down to LA and work with her to do a live stream show, and got to work with Catalyst Collective, who debuted at number 23 on the iTunes charts. Their project is out now. Please go grab their project, 9 Lives. Damn, I know I'm missing. That's why we missed the episode last week. Got to work with Felicia and Kariga Bailey out in Monterey, Writers Retreat. Their documentary with KQED is available now, and they have a short film, When Writers Run Deep, getting ready to drop. So follow KQED Arts, both Kariga and Felicia Bailey, and tap in regards to when the next short film will be dropped. And Soul Affirmations, it's a lot, y'all. I wanted to slow down and highlight some of that shit because it's moving so fast, and I've gotten to talk to people and they're like, yo, Monty, you just doing a lot, bro. And it's shout out to Carl over at Mama Dog. He's like, yo, I get tired watching your feed, and I'm like, damn, I don't even post all the shit. Like, that's the other part. Like, Lex came in, he was like, yo, I got this footage from when y'all was mixing Blood Ties, and I was like, wait, we mixed Blood Ties? And it's like, of course you mixed it because you put it out. But it I wouldn't trade it for the world. And Chris and Michelle, my brother DJ Flo from At the Ave Records, his daughter's first birthday, my baby Zelly, her first birthday was yesterday. And Michelle goes, "Wait, weren't I thought you were in L.A.?" I was like, "Bro, I wasn't missing this for the world." You know what I'm saying? It's the precious family moments in between, and COVID has really done a number on that. Like, especially in regards to like Chris, Michelle, they've had so much success in what their transition has been, getting their house, and Zelly's first year here, and not being able to be as a part of that as you want to, just because of the social distancing and the quarantine shit. So there wasn't no way in hell I was missing just a little drive-by birthday party, tap in real quick, and just show love and let your people know that you are thinking about them even as fast as this shit is moving. And so I just wanted to preface it like that and say thank you to everybody who's been fucking with us, who continues to fuck with us, and support us. Salute to our sponsors, Les Bubble Productions, Northwest Pizza, and Pasta in Ashland, Oregon. Yeah, man. Show open. We good. We got all the shit out the way. Can we get to the shit though?
We out here.
We out here. Week off. Many shit always happens when we do it like that. Yo, you on the pod? Don't say nothing crazy. Oh, my nigga froze. It's good. It's good. My nigga froze. I'm gonna hit you after we done. She froze. That's funny. Yeah. Now shout out to I'm just feel fucking blessed, bro. Like getting to see my niggas. We stayed tapped in. We talked about shit, but it's a lot of shit to talk about. Mm-hmm. I told y'all what type of time I was on. Okay. But for the sake of our listeners, must say we probably shouldn't start there, or should we? How y'all feel?
Hey, start. Let's do it.
Damn, man. Why do I feel like I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something before we get to the shit. Like we checked in. We sure we good? Everybody good? We not?
We ready?
We ready?
Me and Al, we sitting here with the Birdman,
Birdman hands.
Hey, ready to go.
I mean,
I'm trying to tell you right now, this nigga L, he been ready to pod.
No, yeah. He got
this nigga was shadow boxing and everything.
Nigga got something for him. We back. Nah, the world is sick. We know that, but we got some real fuckery taking place. I don't know why it feels disgusting to start there.
Might as well.
No, you already right there.
Right, you know. See,
there it is.
Pop culture is pop culture, right? Fame is, I think we're getting a better understanding, a better grasp on the commodity of fame and how in what high regard people hold fame. And so we're trying to talk news, try to be informative. And astronomical things are happening in the realms of politics and American politics at that. And it's like you want to cover it, you want to have conversations about it, but it's so polarizing, and there's so many emotions wrapped up in it, and it never feels like you never feels like you're able to make progress of any kind when you talk politics. So we have a show responsibility, and I feel like we do a really good job of keeping a balance, and we took a week off, and I want to come in here and talk about politics, but the shit is way more entertainment. Like the shit with fame and all of that is just way more entertaining. But silly me to go that there's a lesson in it somewhere, somehow, some way, right?
I feel like we're at a crossroads.
Okay, thank you, because it doesn't feel right to just go Tory and Meg. What? Who gives a shit?
Nah, I think we're all at a crossroads, man.
Okay,
I think we have an opportunity right now for everyone to decide on which route you want to take, and I think the overwhelming majority is going to stay in place and do what is told. So I think that you can either be real or you could be a part of this fake shit. And I think people are they're starting to muddy that water so much that the fake shit is now just becoming the quota.
The fake shit is becoming the quota.
And it's a weird space to be at because like you would have to be completely tapped in order to know that it's okay to just be fake. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to give in to that force. And I think that's what's happening is like people don't know it, but they've basically signed their waivers to be fake and make it okay. And then get at people that are trying to still keep some level of real in. Because if you're trying to be real in today's age, then you basically an outcast, and that shit you ain't gonna be a part of none of the
what that you bring up a good point, G. But I guess for the sake of the discussion, can we make just a base level explanation? Because the reason I'm interested in this is because I was fortunate enough to have some real. Do you believe in closure?
Mm-hmm.
Lex, do you believe in closure? The concept of closure?
Yeah.
It actually depends, though. You got to be ready for closure.
Okay, that's so.
Like both parties will have to be ready for the closure.
I went from
you can't just be the person trying to close shit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like, nah, it's bad.
So that I got a real lesson in that, which exactly what you just said, G. I went from, oh, I need closure to, oh fuck, I don't believe in that closure shit. To, oh, you just got to be ready, and not only do you have to be ready, you have to be empathetic enough to make sure that the other person is in the space to even entertain that shit. Because it's not, especially if whatever the fallout was centered around some selfishness or something, then you can't then double down on said selfishness and go, well, I need closure. Like that's crazy. But
it's rare that both parties are on the same page on that.
And
it's very rare.
Very rare, but you should, if you arrive there, you got to respect. I think part of the process of the actual maturation is going, hey, this person isn't ready for the conversation. I'm giving them their space and remain open. Because it's the second you personalize, oh, they don't want to talk to me, then you back to your selfish way. So how much have you matured then really? And so I got a really interesting lesson in that this past week that was healthy, but it did allow me to receive said closure we're talking about through the lens of a dynamic conversation. Had uncomfortable truths in it. It had some real time processing, which is interesting because there's just processing in real time, and then there's like the space in like few days and weeks and months and even years to process what's being said or how you feel and shit like that. Fuck, what was my point? Damn, I had a larger point. But explanations and definitions. So in the process of that though, when you in the closure process, I realized that even though that we have dictionaries and we think we have an understanding of what words mean.
Not everybody sees it the same way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean in dictionaries they have 3 different explanations for each word.
For a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. Like,
oh man. And I literally just learned that shit on Friday. I thought we got a basic level of understanding of what this word means. If I use it, oh, bet we good. You add that into trying to communicate via text and remove the context and the dialect and all that other shit. Good luck on having a understanding or a closure or coming to an agreement. No, fam, call me or pull up on me. I need to see you eye to eye, because assuming we share the same definition of a particular word, no longer can bank on that. And so all that to say, can we establish on the show this episode a definition of real so we can always reference back to that? When you said people are like opting out of that whole concept. Like if you opt in to be real, you're in the minority because ain't nobody being real. When you say real, what does that mean?
For me personally, it always goes back to accountability and holding yourself to a certain standard. And that standard can be whatever you want to set it as, but
Hold on,
if
G, my bad.
Yeah.
DJ Tory, you are on the podcast, my brother. Say something to the people.
What's up, people? You know what I'm
What's
saying?
happening?
DJ Tory, live and direct, hieroglyphics all day, every day, 101% music. Grand Nationals is, you know what I'm saying, the movement.
My
right
man,
now,
my man, bro. What's up? You need anything? Everybody's set to be there at 1. You need anything important between now and then?
Man, I was just tapping in, just seeing what was good, man.
My G, yeah, everybody's set to be there. Can you send me the address so I can forward it to like Kate and people like that that never been there?
Oh, G,
My G,
I got you.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll see you soon.
All right, salute.
Can I stop right there and just, like, niggas like that don't be knowing what that type of shit mean. Like, I'd be talking to Torre and he'd be talking to me like explaining his story to me. I'm like, nigga, been a fan of y'all for fucking my whole life, really, you know. Kev does that same shit where he's like trying to like, in 2007 I did this. It's like, nigga, I know I had a fucking album. What are you talking about? You know. So I had to stop. The homie Travis called me. He's like, Monty, you do know that everything you talked about in college and what you wanted to do, you're amongst those people. It was always a real specific, I want to do it at home with the people who I deem legends, who may not have had like mainstream success, but are successful. Like the Hieroglyphics are known around the world. Their music has touched people in ways that you couldn't even fathom, that you can't quantify. You know, so when DJ Torre just calls you on Sunday morning, like, hey man, just like, nigga, like, it's a really big deal. So salute the Hieroglyphics crew. Well, we're gonna do something dope with them today, so we're just checking in with that. My bad, G. You were defining real accountability. That's where you were. Sorry.
Yeah, accountability, and whatever's authentic to you. You know what I mean? And I think what is shifted into is what is acceptable from others. From the larger group than the smaller one, and then it allows you to then shit on and feel better about yourself. You know what I mean? But I think that's and we kind of talked about it in the shit that posted. But the idea of
salute the poll, man. That was a hell of a way to start. What day was that, G? Was that Friday morning?
Yeah, I think that was Friday morning. But the idea of working from the inside out,
yes,
as opposed to the outside in. I think that since things move so fast now, you don't have the opportunity to work on the inside, so therefore it protrudes out. You have to expedite the process, so therefore you're working with outside influences coming in, and then you reflecting what the outside influences are. So it's not authentic to yourself. It's you becoming a carbon copy of what society has now molded itself into. You know what I mean? So if nobody's going to stop it, or nobody's going to like give the okay for people to take a step back and dive into like what it is about yourself that you like and what you want to present to the people, then of course it's going to move at the pace that the majority can move it at. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like when you have. It's kind of like, we talked about this shit too, but it's kind of like when you have like the BLM movements or any movement that you could think of that may have been started with a certain group in mind, but then it gets hijacked by someone else, and then they are now running it, but they're puppeteering it. Like they're not the face of it.
They're just shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're that's kind of like what it is with individuals. Yeah. Like if you're not controlling your own life, then you have other people doing it for you. And if you get an overwhelming majority that's doing that and making it look like it's cool, then all of a sudden you lose out on authenticity of society. Yeah.
So in the spirit of not seeming too dense for such a shallow based dialogue, and granted it's only shallow because of how it's being monetized now. These are celebrities we're speaking about. But behind said shallowness is the density in which you're speaking of, authenticity and all these things that once convoluted fuck, I hate that I can't think of this word, but once convoluted and hijacked for lack of better terms.
Yeah, but celebrity has been extended though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Bet.
Like it's not like the old school version of what a celebrity is, where you do
Mystique
specific
and all
fields.
that shit in this room.
It's not
Okay.
like that. It's now.
So it makes it fair game to speak about it in the sense in which we're speaking about it.
Exactly.
Then. Okay, bet. I'm rolling.
That's the reason why. It's just like the way the landscape is that you can become an overnight celebrity.
Got it.
So that's the reason why it's a little bit different, because if you can become an overnight one, and there are cases that that can possibly happen.
Gotcha.
For a majority of things that you can do, like it doesn't have to be a talent base. It could just be enough eyes on you base.
Gotcha.
Then yes, that muddies the waters to me.
For the sake of the conversation right now, you cool with that explanation of real?
Yes.
Bet. So if we're starting there, right? Where I have the hardest time, G,
Yes.
is the shit's funny. This whole thing has been comical. At the very same time, parallel to that is this burning part of me that's going, damn, people don't give a fuck about it so much that they've parlayed our trauma into us normalizing it on a level to where the joke precedes the optics of how sad this shit is.
Yeah.
Tory is out of this world talented. I stand by that. I'm not taking that back. That nigga's borderline genius as far as talent goes. I'm gonna say the same thing for Meg. And I know people. I'm not here to do the back and forth about what y'all deem talented, what you like. Fuck what you like. My ear's not broke. Like I gotta roll with that now, because niggas done said some wild shit to me in terms of what they like versus I'm gonna roll with my taste level. All right, let's go there. I think Meg is out of this world talented. So, but with that, trying to remove human error in the name of celebrity, leveraging likeness and all the shit. Oh man. Now it really gets tricky. And the first thing everybody makes fun of is some shit that just the average person would be insecure about. Short man's complex is a thing. All my short partners my short partners was the first niggas I seen with pistols in high school. Like the big niggas were not pressed to go get a gun. The little niggas though, yep, I'm going to get my first pistol. Like, it was a no-brainer.
Pistol, crowbar,
something,
bat,
blade,
2x4.
But then like literally adjacent to that was the tall black girl that was trying to figure out her space in beauty as far as the world is concerned. Let's just stick with the progression of the conversation. I know that that's some shit that nobody wants to talk about, but these things happen. Mm-hmm. I asked a few of the taller black women who have stepped into their beauty now. But yo, can you go back to middle school? Like, when did you know you was bad? Because make no mistake, the chicks I was like, they're bad. I'm like, yo, but when did you know it though? Mm-hmm. And all of them are like, 21, 22. What? Yeah, but you gotta think of where I grew up at. I'm like, oh shit. All right. Bet. But at least now you know. But the baseline for beauty has shifted so much to the curvy, voluptuous, at the very least the structure, the makeup of the woman.
You can also develop later.
And you can also develop later too, but the chick that we know humor me for a minute though.
Yeah.
In high school, there was the chick that was damn near our height. It's like, damn, she bad. but she hella tall and she probably hoop. You know what I'm saying? And so she's still figuring out. If what now knowing what we know, how much both genders are so attracted to fucking confidence, and what that does. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I feel like this context matters for why I'm invested in these conversations the way that I personally am. So confidence, insecurities, all the shit that looms around fame. We joke, and people keep hitting me about why Tory's jump shot bothered me so much, and then thank God for the big homie Donald for going, oh no that was a whole ass nigga. From the time I seen the jumper, I just knew what type of time that nigga was on. I was like, that's how my brain works too, nigga. If your jump shot looks like that, and you still playing, because I know some real niggas that know they shit, and it's like, I'm not playing no fucking basketball, man. I'll fight you though, but you'll never catch them niggas shooting basketball. And this nigga's story, he's hooping and talking crazy to people. All right, this nigga's wild, man. Leave that nigga alone. Mm-hmm. But he's talented, nonetheless. Fast track the conversation. They're dating. This wild ass incident happens, and immediately, people start normalizing the despair that exists between black men and black women in the most insane way. We've talked about it several times, and trying to go back and do the math on how many women we've dealt with that have expressed to us how they've been abused, and the percentage is just high, right? So now you're going, damn, if every woman we know that's not a celebrity goes through this, why on earth would I assume that number shrinks because said black woman made it to a level of fame? That can't be the case. Right. Knowing what we know now about how celebrity works, these are just normal fucking people that went, like Elle said, became a celebrity practically overnight. Like, it just, for whatever it is about their likeness, just clicked with the world. They caught a bag, or they manipulated the numbers, whatever it is that got them to that moment. So just throwing that out the window seems silly to me. So still human, that and have all the shit that exists. Tory's still human and has all the trauma and shit that exists. Couple that with the drug of fame and celebrity. Couple that with actual drug consumption. We don't know what that is.
And couple that with being in an environment that you're not completely familiar with or comfortable in.
Man,
like them hanging out
with the fucking Kardashians.
With the Kardashian Jenner crew is not their usual crowd. And there's a lot that goes in that too. Who the fuck knows what comments were made throughout that night that makes you just turn your nose up, and then gradually throughout the night makes you more and more like in a weird space? Because like people that you hang around with that are oblivious to what your traumas and issues are will say things in that moment, and you have zero clue that it's actually a triggering thing.
Does oblivion mean just not to know? Or does oblivion mean not to know and then just not to give a fuck too?
Well, yeah, if you operate in oblivion for long enough, then you'll end up in an area of not giving a fuck about shit.
Got it.
But it's also a matter of, you gotta understand, you have to be put in certain situations multiple times in order to learn something. That's the reason why I feel like black people as a whole have the opportunity to become the most holistic group. Like, and not just, but I mean like the African American, because of how much depth there is in its background. Yeah. So it has an opportunity to have the full picture when it comes to being a human being, if that person is able to, one, work on their trauma, and then two, start to love themselves, so then that can protrude out. Like it has an opportunity to be able to do that much for itself. Yeah. And then for all of humans in general. Yeah. But if you're operating from a space where you have received things from the beginning, your lifestyle has been completely different, the fame has always been there, then yes, I want to say things that I just deem to be correct, and you just got to take it. Yeah. It's up to you on how you receive what the fuck I'm talking about, but that's something I think could happen throughout that night as well. That's not something that's going to...
So the not to skip over the details, but the details of the night are so vague. They're holding it so close to the chest. Not for the sake of our discussion not being being distracted. The night happens and assume the worst. Okay, so if we're assuming the worst, some really twisted, dark shit took place, and the way that it was covered just reaffirmed that people don't give a fuck about us, to the point to where we've entered in on the jokes and no one moved to empathy. Like, it just was immediately was like, these are disposable characters, these are disposable bodies. Don't matter what it is. So much so,
which should be a lesson, but it won't be.
It won't be, absolutely. So much so that one of the parties involved that is being accused can then months later release an entire album about the incident and completely neglect the seriousness of not just the victim or the person that's accusing him, but how in jeopardy his freedom is. Like that, I know we can't victim blame. I know we gotta check in on Meg and make sure she's okay. But I gotta be honest, y'all. The black man that was raised by a mom and a grandmother that went out of their fucking way to make sure that my black ass knew that these folks don't give a fuck about me. That concerns me about how this nigga's moving and who he's surrounded by. That they let him sit up there and make a 17-track album making fun of this shit.
The one thing I didn't understand is he said he couldn't come out and say, like, anything. But for him to isn't making the album the same thing, or is it by law it's completely different?
This nigga Boosie just got done telling the world on Vlad that the reason that he was facing the death penalty is because they used his lyrics.
So
that's what the other dude did too. The one that was on that's on trial for double homicide.
YMN Melly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You can't forget X-rated.
X-rated. C Murder. The list goes on, and then here you come. Again, please forgive me. I hope that people can compartmentalize and roll with just having multiple discussions at once. That worried me, y'all, reading them lyrics. Oh, you don't even give a fuck about yourself. You gonna throw one more Hail Mary in the name of fame.
Hell of a drug.
Because streaming ain't getting no bread. Sorry, you can't tour this music right now. The world is shut down. So what's the incentive to release this album? Think about that. To monetize that music, Tory would have to do his appearances, his meet and greets, his shows, and really get it out the mud. Are you just gonna depend on your shit doing so many streams? Bro, stop it. You can't mathematically you can't convince me that this was a smart business move. So now you just talking about being able to leverage fame.
Yeah, I think he was going for the low hanging fruit streams, like Brad did with Entanglement.
Jesus. It was hard. It's hard. It's heartbreaking. Like, I got all the jokes, but
remember that Mark Maron interview when he interviewed Morris Garrett?
Yes, yeah.
And remember when Morris Garrett said, "Now I done smoked crack before, and fame is way more addictive."
Salute Mark Maron at WTF podcast and the amount of legends like Morris Garrett, who was a legendary black actor. I would have never heard his story if not for that show.
Me either.
You know what I'm saying? And I do remember him saying that. He said, I have smoked crack before, and fame is way more addictive. Watching this Kanye shit unravel, watching people put their 2 cents in and convolute the conversation with being an artist, with being famous. Fam, please stop that. if you're creative, if you're aspiring director, actor, nigga, all you got to do is pick up a camera. All you got to do is figure out a way to make beats on your. A garage band comes on your phone for fuck's sake, so you don't need a lot to get the ball rolling. If you want to be a writer, sit your ass down and start writing. But don't confuse. Oh, I need however many followers to validate my expression or my art. It's not the same thing. And the way they keep shoving these contracts and the idea of leveraging said likeness in the faces of black women, children, men, boys, girls is disgusting. And only to have it backfire, have you out the window shooting your girlfriend in her foot and normalizing it, and everybody in every fucking publication running off and getting more coverage from it. It's disgusting. All you niggas should be disgusted with yourself. And when I say that, I'm talking about the publications. Hip Hop DX, you should be disgusted with your fucking self. What's our guy? TMZ, we already know you sick fucks. Shade Room, this is shit is crazy.
Shout out to Vanessa for suing the LA like news cycle or whatever.
LA Weekly, is it?
I forgot which one it was.
It's probably Weekly.
One of those. Whoever was on the scene that snapped the pictures of the crash site. Shout out to her for that shit, man.
Watching that, how her mom is doing an interview with motherfucking Telemundo, talking about the fallout of the death and Vanessa taking her car away and her money and her, like, what for in the name of fame. And that's how they approach these people with, hey, we can get fame. Ain't even no, it's not even no real money. We're talking about pennies to sell your soul.
Mm-hmm. Sues the LA County Sheriff.
Okay. Oh, okay. God, I thought you were talking about on some publication shit.
Yeah, no, that's but that's who shot the photos over there.
Oh, man.
Hold up. The sheriff's?
The sheriff office. They were the first ones on the scene that was able to shoot the photos, and they sold them.
To TMZ?
More than likely. Because TMZ got that shit fast.
They had it up. That's why I was... Niggas is sick.
That's what I mean. Like, because I remember when I was in the gym, the dude was passing his phone around in the gym, and that was coming from there. But it hadn't even hit the news cycle yet. You know what I mean? Like, so
there was no real information.
There was no real information that was out yet.
Heartbreaking.
Isn't that how she found out? Was like
she found out from that? Yeah. Well, no. I think they found that shit was passed around already for them though, because that was in their neighborhood already. Like that information, because remember it was other people that was on there, and that word was spreading over for them already. Wow. It is the fact that the public got that way before they were even able to get to the site and do, you know, like, because they been had that information, they just didn't get there yet.
So we don't jump around. All of this comes out. Tory comes out, says his piece, and then these trash niggas around the world unite and start sharing their stories of being abused. I don't want to belittle the men who have been abused by women. That's not what I'm here to do. However, G, if this gets us canceled, so fucking be it. You sick fucks. And it's not even like, because I know some bitches that got hands for real. Yeah. So I'm not even gonna do that with y'all. Like I'm not doing that. However, you sick fucks using this moment now to come out and band together.
This is the moment.
Hey, and don't come try to commandeer our abused men's corner. That's not what we talk about. that is not what we mean.
Yeah, those are not.
Hey, we heard Monty and Ill say it. No,
they're not in the same
y'all
corner,
heard Tory say it, not us. Nigga, y'all got me fucked up. G, how you feel about niggas just coming out the woodwork, sharing their testimonies about being abused though?
Hey man, I ain't never seen nothing like it, man.
Am I trash for laughing? I'm
not at all.
trash. I'm trash. I'm
Not at all.
sorry.
Nah.
Peace King. That's why I got my Peace King hat on, man. You kings don't be getting out there getting beat up by your bitch, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's how the abuse goes, man. Like I think with
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't help myself, G.
I feel you. They
Niggas around the world is in their front cameras. Yeah, man. I stand with Tory, man. My girl put her hands on me. Okay. If you had time to pick up your phone, turn the camera on, and say you stand with Tory, you're a sick fuck. Am I crazy?
You know what it is, though?
Lex,
you know
help me.
You know what's going on, though? Like, what's going on is that it's people trying to get ahead of the cycle on when their shit hits the fan. That's what's happening. It's
Gotcha.
like they're trying to rush to the forefront first and say, nah, she hit me before I whipped her ass.
And you know some real niggas that got pent up behind some unfortunate situations behind they girl putting their hand on them first and the cops pulling up and being like, oh, we got to take you, buddy.
Completely.
So that's a thing. So let's not make light of that. It's not what I'm making light of.
No, it's completely.
But we know it's some hoe niggas that's coming out of the woodwork standing with another hoe nigga. Can we say that? Is that fair to say? Misconstrue that all you want. Entangle that all how you want. Nigga, I'm clear in what I'm saying. Some real niggas went down. It's not funny. The rest of you bitch niggas, though, in your front cam doing testimonies, is disgusting.
I think my thing is that that's the shit that y'all be attracted to, though. So, like, if you getting your ass beat by your girl, it's because that's the shit that you attracted to. Like, you saw that you seen that type of activity, and you could see that coming in the beginning. It's not like she just sprung that shit on you. Nah, she been had that type of attitude towards you, and she been disrespectful to you, and she been ready to whip your ass. And when she did it, you gonna act like that, like you didn't enjoy the fuck out of like what came from that, because like I feel a lot of times you take on that level of abuse because that is what you are. That's where you are at this time. Like you want that level of somebody hitting on you because they love you, or because they care about you to the point where they're ready to whip your ass. You know what I mean? Like I think that comes with the territory. So you can't after the fact be like, well, she put her hands on me. She can. You know what I mean? Because we need to be out here protecting women. But for the guy, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's a situation that you put yourself in. And best believe you still going to be wanting somebody that does that type of shit to you. You don't want to get away from that.
And some people just want a sad story. Like they want to force themselves into a sad story so they can tell other people for sympathy.
Sometimes, but I don't even. That's getting into murky waters, too. Abuse is abuse, gender or non-gender. The disgusting part of the niggas that's in their front camera doing it, giving their testimony. I can't. I'm sorry. And in the name, and that's the other part too. Hearing so many men go out of their way to call in the radio shows and to tweet and to do these long ass posts about I'm standing with Tory.
No, I was gonna say any nigga who was nasty enough to do hashtag stand with Tory.
Oh my gosh. But no, that's to my being done with rappers. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna break y'all, break everybody's heart. It's because it's breaking my heart to say it publicly. This is the last two episodes. I don't know if y'all know. I've had to like completely remove myself from niggas I admire. Rick Ross, bro, what are you doing? In the name of chastising Tory, here you come with your Bel Air bottles and everything in the screen, and tagging your sponsors. Everybody's nuts. Everybody has fucking lost it, bro. What is happening?
He also forgot.
Forgot what? That they were there?
Nah, his background is there.
Gee, wait. And she didn't even know it. Like, what? Okay. I'm good. I'm good. What is happening, you guys? This is what we're living through. Meanwhile,
Try to tell you, people forgetting.
Meanwhile, 45 is trying to go secure $500 billion for reparations. Now, what's gonna happen? I am 100% convinced we're living in a fucking movie right now. It's just a movie, and it's either the credits are gonna roll, or we really trapped in the screen and can't get out. They shut the world down.
It might be like Westworld, where it just restarts.
It just restarts every.
It just rebuild us.
Are we
put us back in the same
living
place.
in Westworld? And this is a game?
Hey, folks is intentionally fucking with us.
No, not even a game, because Westworld is like a fucking vacation, basically. Like, it's a destination.
It's a resort.
A resort.
Have you seen Antebellum?
Mm-mm.
All right, never mind.
Okay. This is the Westworld is an adult amusement park, but you need sex, murder, and mayhem in order to have adults get their rocks off. This is what this shit is. Basically, it's what it feels like, at least. Yeah. This nigga is about to. He got Obamacare the fuck out of here. People are not working.
Not just adults, just rich people.
Oh yeah, there
because you got to have a certain
you
amount of funds
bread
in order to be able to go into that world.
True.
Just like Westworld.
Completely undid the world. And if he starts handing black people money, this nigga could save his whole shit. What is happening? Lex, right? Keep it up, L, right now. How many of your relationships with people around you is going to be altered forever if this nigga Trump give black people reparations and they change their entire stance on everything they claim to give a fuck about?
You said people around me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our immediate circles that don't overlap. Let's say that.
Gotcha.
We got some our shit. It overlaps with one another. So I'm talking about where our worlds don't overlap at. The motherfuckers that occupy that space. Mm-hmm. That is, go vote, go nigga. I still like pro everything. That's anti 45. And if that nigga line their pockets, they gonna change their whole stance.
Oh, that's a given.
Yeah,
that's a given. I saw people on it in the first place. I thought they made a lot of noise.
This is the most sinister shit in the world. All these niggas on the left pretending to care about the greater good. This nigga come with the go. The trick is to expose all you sick fucks for being sicker than me. And I dangle some money in front of you, and y'all change your whole stance. Oh my God, I genuinely am perplexed at how this shit works.
Nah, this is some Inception shit. Like,
thank you.
Nah, but did you you see like what North Korea been up to?
Gee.
So North Korea they've been quiet, right? But that's only because they've been out here laundering money through our banks.
Ain't nobody making no money right now, so we can clean all this. Do they shit?
So even crazier, what if they gave out them stimulus checks from North Korea? Like, that's how they was able to get that shit off. Like, that's where all that money got siphoned in.
And everybody kept saying, "Where's the money coming from? Where's the money coming from?" You dummies.
Get that shit siphoned in.
Niggas running PPE scams thinking they up. You sick fucks. You.
Nah, the cold part is they had that shit on the news. When I saw that, I was like, damn, they really about to come get these niggas.
Every last one of you. Every last one of you. I ain't snitching though. Let me hold something. I ain't tell it. I just say it.
You trying to get it from extension?
You feel me? Hey, remove. We gotta be a few people removed. Hove told me that.
So you didn't have to go through that.
Let's stay in business and economics because I feel like we flowing, right? Joe Budden announces his network. After all that, announces his network, the Joe Budden Network. I want to salute my nigga. Couldn't be happier for you. Couldn't be prouder. And just watching everything you built from Joe Budden TV, music career, and just being ahead of the curve. You earn that, my nigga. Salute.
You thought he wasn't after he got the teeth?
Should have known. That should have been the giveaway. The teeth should have been the giveaway.
You didn't think he was about to go on some shit after that?
Oh, I like what you did there,
Bro.
I like what you did there.
That nigga been glowing up, bro. You thought he was about to stop
you
at
thought
just...
you thought that nigga wasn't gonna do a network. Oh man,
He got rid of the little wrinkles right there and everything.
You get the Botox in the teeth, bro. You about to get some shit, bro.
Salute to Joe. Man, what a power move. I would like in since niggas is standing with niggas, let's stand with Joe and highlight the despair and dismay that's taking place over at Spotify right now. They got unions popping up on them. They got rid of one of the niggas in charge and got somebody else in there to really be able to deal with artists, because the techie that they had in there don't have no finesse about theyself, don't know how to get deals done in the name of creativity. And your new acquisition wants out. Joe Rogan he's rethinking this whole shit. But Joe Budden's crazy. You man, don't get me. I'll kick this microphone. Oh, right now.
Hey, that's too bad. That sound like a personal problem on Rogan's part. But I am happy though to see that Bridget Kelly's gonna be on some type of platform. Like, I think that's long overdue.
Yes.
Like, I am looking forward to that women's side perspective.
And see, the thing is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. And Joe,
she keeps it all the way player from a woman's perspective, and I fuck with that.
And anytime I get a chance to say fuck you, Andrew Schultz, I'm gonna take it.
Oh, you got more Andrew Schultz?
Bruh, we're not supposed to take shit personal, but when he get to talking about black shit, bruh, it disgusts me.
Andrew's a troll though.
I know he's a troll, which is why I don't want to give it so much power. But bruh, stop talking about black shit.
He can't because he has black people around that gives him an okay.
They're trash too.
Charlamagne gives him an okay,
and bro on the show,
bro that's on the show gives him an okay.
But it's not even that they give him an okay.
He gives the Indian bread okay. So like that entire thing is just
Indian
trash.
bread trash too. But he's the least of my worries. Schultz, on the other hand, is white and could not for the life of him make traction amongst white people. They spotted how mediocre he was from the rip. That's why I fuck with white people. They don't do the middle ground. It's either nepotism. We know you ain't supposed to be here, but you here, so shut the fuck up. Or you not talented at all, so we not giving you no access. So what are those?
Until you build your portfolio, and then you can come over.
Until you build your portfolio, but where do they go to build their portfolio?
Black folks.
Okay, my point.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I'm not letting you niggas do that to Post Malone. Post Malone's different. Post, I'll fuck with you. Don't you dare say that about Post.
All right.
Kid Rock, yes. Not Post Malone.
Justin Bieber.
Biebs, yeah, him and Chance doing gospel. I'm not rolling.
Bro,
I'm not rolling. G, don't you dare. Don't you dare tell me you fucking with gospel Biebs.
Gospel Biebs? Oh, that was in my things that I don't like, bro. Things that I don't care for, bro, is Holy Bieber, bro.
Holy
Bieber is comedy.
I don't need the Holy Biebs, bro.
Holy Biebs?
Holy Biebs?
Holy Biebs is crazy.
Hey, prayed up Biebs, bro.
Prayed up Biebs is nuts.
I don't need it.
Oh.
I don't need the pop star video where at the end it was all a dream and you in the bed with your girl and shit. Nah, bro, I don't need none of this shit.
Check. We're moving along.
I need wild ass Biebs, bro. I need the nigga that almost went to jail but gave that shit a little twist. I need that Biebs.
You need the Biebs that was singing nigger?
Not that far,
Not
Biebs.
that far.
Not that far, Biebs.
That's little.
The Biebs that came right after that one. That one got swept underneath the rug. That man harmonized that shit. That was
we gotta
crazy.
sacrifice some of these topics, probably mostly mine. What does Bub have? We got one of yours already. Okay. Can we do Lovecraft? Because it's really important. People seem to really give a fuck about our takes on Lovecraft. Okay. And the amount of terrain and responsibility I need to have in this discussion from episode... What episode is tonight? 6? So 5. Yes.
5 was the one when they went back in time. Well, they went back and showed them in the war.
In the war.
Yeah.
So no.
I love that they're giving
we already had 6.
The full scope.
So tonight is 7. Tonight is
7.
Yeah.
And then
tonight's episode 7, right?
Tonight is episode 7.
Yeah. So 6 is what I want to talk about.
5.
So you want 5?
5 was the dad. 6 was the overseas.
You said 5 was what?
That the history of violence.
Got it. So no, 5 is the one I want to talk about. There's a lot to unpack, but we need to do it responsibly and clear. Episode 5 for me personally is some of the best written television I've had the pleasure of like witnessing, right? The discussions that arise from that episode are the same ones that have been had in and around the industry. Do black people, black men specifically, have to be gay in order to have their stories advanced or highlighted based on who runs the industry? I feel like that's an okay question if it stops there. I feel like no harm yet just asking that, right? Or am I wrong?
You got it.
Okay. So if it just stops there, that's one thing. What I would, not even what I would challenge, because I haven't done it whenever I'm around men who pose that question, and I've been around several men who were all in on the show and to that episode, and they were like, and I couldn't even be mad at them for that because they're asking why is that an essential part of the story. Still sounds fair for me. And maybe this is experience, bias, access. The unpacking black people and our relationship in and around sexual identity is a very, very important conversation that needs to be handled responsibly. And for the life of me, I'm watching episode 5 of Lovecraft going, damn, they're bodying this shit. The trauma, the anger, the violence, and the emotional portion of being liberated and insulated and supported and finding your community. I just thought they handled that so well from a storytelling perspective. Mm-hmm. And for me, in discussing art, I don't really care to talk about people's personal preference when discussing art. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People do this thing where they insert their bias, their perspective, what they would have done. This not your. If you would have done something different, tell your story. Then I'll talk to you about your preference, nigga. But if it's not your story, shut the fuck up or don't watch it. And I guess that's where I stand on that. But I want to be fair and not completely tune out or dismiss the hetero males conversation in and around sexual identity and feeling like in order to have that level of impact, there has to be some engagement or some pandering to the LGBTQ community in and around your platform. Feel like I just want to be fair and offer that, but I also want to go, so was the story fire? It's back to the Frank Ocean conversation. Oh man, that nigga singing to a man. Is the song fire or nah? Because if it's not, turn it off if it's not for you. But if you can't go, nah, I don't fuck with the song, shut up. Am I missing something in there? Is there something I'm not being empathetic towards? Because I want to, but I also, if we're talking personal experience, I also have black men and black women that I love dearly that have suffered from living in the closet and not feeling like they'll be loved or supported by their own people. Salute the fucking black church. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're just talking dynamics and how true they are, bro, stop pretending like you don't know gay black men and black women who live in secrecy, live in hiding out of fear from being outcast by their own people. That's a thing. And
it also leads to those, like, his father's outburst, his father's drinking, his father's, like, that unknown anger.
Compound trauma.
Yeah, like
compound trauma that may or may not have anything to do with eventually arriving at said sexual identity. So it's a story we need to explore and we need to tell thoroughly with nuance. The way everything else gets its terrain. I know niggas who didn't fuck with Moonlight because of that. It's so sad because there's so much more to that story. Mm-hmm. And for it to just get the one with the gay niggas, like that's how that gets started. And I'm like, wait, that's what you got from Moonlight? I'm like, damn, what can I say to you if that's the limit of your ability to consume art? Maybe I'm being too artsy fartsy then. I'm open to that. I'm 100% open to being way too artsy fartsy for niggas in. And please, because we here on the pod, you're my niggas. Y'all tell me if that's what I'm doing and dismissing their questions in and around black male sexual identity and stories being told. Because it feels like, because if that's the case, I want to know why Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and New Jack get greenlit too then. Where niggas is dying and it's just trauma. I want to know that side too then. If this is how you feel about sexual identity and it being on screen, nigga, I feel the same way about black bodies being murdered over and over again in films.
Yeah, I think the issue
maybe that's a false equivalent too. Actually.
I think the issue that people are having, like if you just look at the story as a whole, if you're just into storytelling, mm-hmm. then yes, you'll be able to look past that part because you're interested in the full spectrum of the mm-hmm. storyline. But for like people that aren't like kind of just wishy-washy or not really fully in on the storyline or anything like that, then they look at it more so as
in a vacuum, just that
in a vacuum, and also like what are you trying to push on to a certain community, and why is that something that you're trying? Why are you so interested in pushing that into the eyes, I would say, of like the youth or whatever. I think that's more so what they be thinking about without really understanding how any of that shit actually works. If you're still using like old tropes on things, then you would believe that if you see enough of something, then that's actually what you'll become. What? You know, like people
that impressionable?
Completely. Like that's what people think.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like they think that that's what it is because that's the talk on like why same sex same sexes shouldn't adopt. You know what I mean? Because of like,
because their kid will look at them and go, "This is what I'm supposed to do.
This is what I want to do too." Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the idea. You know, if you're still using old tropes, then that's exactly how you would think life works. You know, it's just like your experiences on sexuality will be, or they even think that, you know, in a lot of those, if you go even darker, you'll think that that's something that gets passed on to a child.
Jesus,
You know what
it's
I mean?
hereditary.
Yeah, like if you're there, then you'll actually, they'll push that agenda onto you. You know, so that's something, that's another thing.
Man, it's not as simple as can't we all just get along. I understand that, but
I think the story should always be told the way that the artist would like to tell it. I don't think that it should ever be like pandered to. Like, I didn't think that this storyline was pandered to a demographic. I feel like that fit right into the overall narrative that they were trying to push off. Like, I don't think that was something that we need to insert because we need to make these people feel included. Nah, it's to tell
it. Let's not get it twisted. It happens, but it also happens when
completely happens. Yeah.
When they put the random minority character in something just to fill the quota. When they put there are moments when that is a thing. This didn't feel like that to me.
Yeah. They could have done it. They could have done it that way, but yeah, I don't think that's how
it could have been, but it didn't feel that way. It not for one second.
And if that was what they were trying to do, and that's even crazier, because so far it feels like that story is being told however the fuck they want to tell it.
Yeah. Salute to Misha and everybody again. We got to keep reiterating that the storytelling in episode 5 was amazing.
Yeah.
And then they decide to turn the fuck up on 6 again. Like, every episode keeps getting better.
To do that in a whole nother country is crazy.
So tasteful.
Because they were able to deal with their own issues that they have as a culture as well.
Yep.
Between that mom and the monster lady, like it was a whole dynamic there as
well.
The
Sherpa and the detail. I didn't know, and I'm still learning what that means exactly, G. But my affinity for nuance, because it's hard to do. Like, the action and the blood and the guts and all that shit feels really easy, but sucking you in to the story and making you like the mom. I was able to empathize with the mom, even like, yo, she's sick as fuck, but even her character, like, there was so much depth there, and I'm sure that's an attribute to the actors and actresses that were on that episode too, but the writing, my nigga.
Yeah, but like doing anything for your male counterpart in order to for your family to survive and thrive. Because you're in a culture where men are at a high level and women are basically treated like shit. Especially if they're on their own, like it's almost as if you're invisible and we'll just walk over you on the street or whatever. So that's it. That was interesting. All the way up to like. Well, we can't talk too much about it because I don't know how many people have watched it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, spoilers.
I did like too though that you were able to tell another side of Atticus, 100%. So that you don't always see him as like the protagonist. Like, nah, bro is also like
a sicko
at some point too. That was also something from back then,
and it was
where they were brainwashing Americans.
It was really short lived. And I think I'm so glad you said that. I think that's the detail I'm talking about, G. Like, because to develop that character the way you're talking about, usually it feels like they spend an insane amount of time giving you that perspective. That moment was so short, where it was like, yo, which one of y'all is the informant in this group? It was so quick, but it was so impactful. That you never forget it, and then the very next time you see him again, he's in that role that just it reminds you of like, oh, this is the protagonist, and why we have an affinity for him, and we offer him the terrain that we do. But it helped understand how he was beating the shit out of his dad the episode before. why he's fearless when he's moving around the south side of Chicago, like he just moving, like he ain't scared of shit. Oh, of course not. He didn't seen some shit for real. You know.
Also, when she connected to him and did the flashback, and they got to see what they were doing to people that were informants.
Yeah, and they were like pulling out the teeth.
Yeah,
like the torture schemes and stuff like that, and him being right there. So that's all things that that gives the full picture for people if you catch it. You know what I mean? And like it makes it so that you're not always thinking that things are like sweet. You know what I mean? Like everything isn't sweet. It's a full terrain.
One of the criticisms our reviews have gotten in regards to Lovecraft is two of the reviews, because one of them is hilarious.
Okay.
Shout out to the homie. I wish I could remember your name. I'll shout you out on the next one, because you comment on every time we post a Lovecraft review. It's like, first of all, this ain't nothing gonna ever be Game of Thrones. It's like,
nah, this is killing Game of Thrones.
And I was like,
I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but it's killing.
And I was annoyed. That's disrespectful, by the way. But I was annoyed
to talk about, but that shit.
I was annoyed, but then the very next comment was like, nah, this shit is hard though. Like it's a close. So it was poking fun at us for even posing the question, but at the same time, bigging up how dope the show actually is. And so and then the other one is like, oh, so y'all not gonna have no critiques of the show at all? And it's like, no. I don't have any. Maybe you guys have some. I don't have any.
Well, also the show is like in episode 6, so like so far you're giving it. They did so well at telling so much of the story in the first episode that it pulls you into a point where, oh, I can give this thing leeway like a motherfucker just to get an idea where they're taking us to.
Yeah.
As some storylines will start off super slow, and they're doing this 8 episode thing as well, so like you're probably not gonna know much about any of the characters for 3 seasons.
Yeah,
that's not how they chose to tell this one. So this one lets me know that I don't know how many seasons they have underneath their belt if they're going this hard in the first one, but I think that they're telling such a well-rounded story that you gotta kind of give it some time. And then also, I don't really have many critiques when you're telling so many sides of our story going through history. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to say about that? Like, bro, if I'm looking at other shit that people give amazing reviews that ain't telling nothing, that ain't give you no information,
zero,
I refuse to give this motherfucker that much critique.
And that's my point.
And the genre.
Yeah.
They're connecting history in a science fiction genre,
marking it
and killing it.
Yeah, I'm going. So degree of difficulty.
Exactly.
And we spend so much time talking about the shit we don't care for.
We said that a long time ago.
That's why L's part of the show is so brilliant, because it's like, shit I don't care for. Boom. Niggas get however many characters for their tweets and go on rants about shit that they don't care for. Bro, our show is dedicated to shit we fuck with.
Pretty much.
And if you ain't got it, if you haven't figured it out by now, what we love the most is black people.
For sure. And also, spoiler alert, in everyday life, I don't spend much time thinking about things that I don't care for.
Talk about it.
Like, when I do that little segment, that literally hit me in a split second, because that's how much time I give shit I don't care for. I just bring that shit to the forefront so that other people could just know, like, how much time I put into shit that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Like, I barely.
But that's why it's brilliant. That's exactly why it's brilliant.
But I've trained myself to the point where I don't even think I see things that I don't care about.
Damn, that's beautiful. That's so
like
beautiful.
I completely look past some shit that I don't care for. Like, and that allows me to live a certain type of way where I give a lot of energy and I put out a lot of energy that has to do with positivity and also things that are going to elevate my current stance.
Absolutely.
Anything detracting that, bro, is null and void in my book.
And one other thing that I personally love about Lovecraft is how they develop characters, introduce characters, and then decide to give you bits and pieces of every character's past, but in the most randomest moments where if you're not paying attention to the show, you miss it. And then later on, it hits you like they'll bring it back. That this is where this character comes from.
Yeah.
Because in the first episode, he called the one chick and nobody... It's like, who the hell did he call? And then they don't. Number you call, yeah, and then they don't bring it till episode 6. Yeah. Like things like that, I love.
No, yeah. So same, just a little gems. I got a hard out, but there was one thing that I absolutely wanted to get to. I wanted to make sure there wasn't nothing you guys absolutely needed to cover before we did. G, can you think of anything we missed? For yours that you absolutely need to get to?
Yeah, just at the Oh, I learned what the women PS5 was.
Oh shit. Do tell.
All right. So there's so much commotion over the PS5 and like men trying to figure out how to get this shit from women and blah blah blah, right? But without y'all knowing that the women PS5 this whole time has been that Rihanna announced that she was gonna make a brief line for men.
Man.
So that's their anticipation. So just so you know, men, that women have their version of the PS5
is dropping. That's
they looking for the Fenty briefs for men. So just give you a heads up.
G, you don't be on Twitter like that, Lex. Have you seen the chicks that be like they've been posting the most fire pictures, by the way, like and going me or a PS5. Niggas are hilarious because all they comments is like, man, you mid.
Yeah, they're not showing no.
But the one baby was hella bad though, and she had like the see-through sequin shit on. She's like me or the PS5. Her angles was fire, light and everything. This nigga's like, bro, please stop.
No, I think
I'm on my way to GameStop right now.
I think I see the exact same picture where the niggas coming. But you only wear that once. 2K is forever.
Niggas are sick. I fuck with how committed the gamer niggas is, bro. It's
bro,
like,
they serious about that shit, man.
Gosh. L came up with a brilliant idea. We got to figure out how to roll it out for a show. But the meme awards and Future is the standard. So we like look for that. That might have to be its own show.
Big standard.
Yeah. Chris Rock is promoting his season of Fargo. I don't know how many fans of Fargo we have, but that show is incredible. If you haven't seen the first, this is season 4, correct?
Chris Rock doing a lot of his version of things right now. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is season 4, right, or 5?
4. Let me check.
Yeah, check. But he's promoting his season of Fargo, where he plays a black Kansas City mobster. But he's doing his press run, and I look forward to press runs for projects that I'm not passionate about.
Is that like True Detective? Or like changes?
Where it changed, exactly. Yeah.
Because Billy Bob was like the first one, wasn't he? Or something like
that? Season 1, yes. Billy Bob Thornton, yeah. Okay. So season 1 of Fargo. You still checking, Lex?
Yeah. 4th season.
This is the 4th season, correct. Yeah. All right. So Chris Rock is promoting the 4th season of Fargo. Doing his press, even before that, his GQ piece, he spoke about his battle with, it's not Asperger's, but it's on the spectrum of Asperger's. Damn. Oh,
like in real life?
Non-verbal learning disorder.
Yeah.
Or non-verbal.
He said he doesn't get like verbal cues.
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
he doesn't catch verbal.
He doesn't catch verbal cues, non-verbal cues, and something insane like 75% of our communication is nonverbal, which is why it's a thing, right? Being real niggas read the room. Basically, we've been saying that for a few episodes now. Couple of angles I wanted to approach it from, and it hit me hard because Chris Rock is he in his 50s?
Yeah, he gotta be.
Got it. Yeah.
That's a cold version of Asperger's to receive. Cause like that sucks for like the
55.
majority of.
Chris Rock is 55, recently divorced, father.
That would mean like no relationships will work.
And that's what his point was. He's like, none of his relationships have been able to be successful because he's walked around with this deficiency. But I wanted to ask a question to you fellas. How much has that served his success?
Well, it allows you to trek on. So it allows you to not think about other people's reaction to things, which allows you to just live within a truth for yourself without having to worry about the consequences from others.
Mm-hmm.
So that does well for, especially for comedy. It's just stand-up comedy for sure.
Yeah.
So if you're just listening to laughs and you can't tell like when somebody's like uneasy or against it or something like that,
the joke matters more than how niggas feel about it.
Completely. Yeah. So that goes a long way for comedy.
Gotcha. And so that was the thought I had. That was the thought I had initially. It's like, damn, how much has this it's not a mental illness. I forget what it's categorized as.
It's a syndrome.
Syndrome. How much has that served his success? Then I start thinking about I'm doing this really fun thing where I'm both journaling, I'm writing, and I'm doing audio journaling now every day. And I uncovered something in the audio version of it that I'm more inclined to unpack things that impacted me during that day and why it impacted me. And so I believe it was Wednesday where I just had one of the most amazing creative days ever. I believe that was Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. But it was like I woke up hella early and like did a virtual meeting. We had amazing dialogue. Left said meeting to get to a session on time and did all that before fucking like 10:30. And it was like, damn, that was an awesome day. It's like, no nigga, the day's just starting. Left there, Jane had a session in the East, went to her session and was like, damn, this is amazing. Then left the session and went this was all over the place, but it was just like all like the ability to bounce in between these different parts of the brain too. So we're talking about creatively, production leader, some sort of admin role, like these different parts of the brain that don't overlap. You got to compartmentalize them because it's not the same thing. And for whatever reason, in between all of that shit, I was listening to Chris Rock's interview. And I'm like, huh. And then I had this vivid ass flashback to this man coming to my parents' apartment in San Leandro off of MacArthur, and he had this fucking briefcase. And they set me down, and I took this test, and then they went and sat in the living room, and he started talking to my parents, and then they came back, and he was like, yo, you got these books. And it was the Hooked on Phonics dude. And then I start replaying that shit back so vividly, bro, I could smell what moms was cooking. Like that type of weird shit. And I go, what did I test? And how bad was it? Because I was on the spectrum for something, and it just never got talked about. Mm-hmm. And how terrifying that must have been for my parents, and how much of my existence has been going out of their way to accommodate whatever that deficiency, air quote, is. And I started thinking about what a struggle, like pre-K through 4th grade was for me until I met the most amazing teacher ever, Mr. Harrison. Shout out Mr. Harrison. But everything felt backwards as fuck up until that point, because it was always just mad linear. Mm-hmm. And I don't think my brain works like that to this day. Like it still doesn't. And I don't know if it's dyslexia or whatever, but it's something to the point that we're 4th grade, and it was like the end of 4th grade, like the end of the year, like it was a fucking struggle. And then out of nowhere, Mr. Harrison goes, oh, he's a creative writer. He's fine. And then literally he would frame everything through the lens of that. Mm-hmm. Cause it's like, everybody was just like, hey, it's just this. And I'm like, no, it can't be just that because who told y'all that this was that? Can we go find that nigga first? And it's like, fam, no. You don't understand how math works. It's like it's just addition. But yeah, but who said it was addition? Can we go have that conversation?
Right.
And they're like, no, we can't. And I'm like, well, why? And so now because you can't explain to me why, I don't know why I need to do this, nigga, because you can't tell me how we even got to this point. So what we doing? I need to know the story that got us here so I could have a better affinity for why the fuck we're doing it.
Right.
Mr. Harrison was the only motherfucker to understand like why that was so important. So then he would go out of his way to explain what a haiku was and why haiku was hella tight. All right, who's your favorite rapper? And I walk in with whose world is this? But this is like right when you could start printing lyrics, and I walked in with that. And he's like, what's your favorite lines in there? And he explained what a haiku, what Nas was doing, and like breaking down Nas lyrics. I'm like, oh, nigga, this makes sense. I'm all in on English now. You know, and it's like, how much do our deficiencies, air quote again, serve us in the lens of pursuits of passion? Chris Rock knew what his passion was. But you got wife, you got children. You're a productive citizen. You need to grow. You need to evolve, and you need to acquire new tools. So yes, please help me identify what I'm lacking so I can become better. But I need to unpack it and learn it in a way that is going to serve said passion, not completely undermine it.
Yeah, that's what they said though. For like when we was having that conversation about school and stuff like that, it really comes down to how much time is spent on each individual's specific deal, because we are born with completely different situations that's going on with us as individuals.
Got you.
But we're in a learning system that caters to doing things like cookie cutter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's not everybody's learning. Not the way that everybody else learns, but that's the way that we're teaching each other, which is the reason why it's like a make or break moment for each and every person when it comes to going to school. To be put into a space where you are going into the work field. Like they just want to put you into the work field somehow, some way. So this is how they map out which type of work field you're going into, like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of it's just weeding through each individual.
Yeah. Shout out my brother Deal. We celebrated all of our favorite person, Freak, a few weeks ago, his birthday, which was a really dope moment because Freak spends so much time like organizing and putting shit together to celebrate everybody else. He's the nigga you just like nigga, it's your birthday. Like, this is really cool. And it was dope to see everybody pulled up and was like, no, nigga, we're happy to be celebrating you. And it's like to see Freak, like, not emotional, but like grateful that everybody gave a fuck. It's like, oh, you don't know how much you mean to everybody. You know, it was a really cool moment, but we got fucked up, by the way. I blame these niggas. L, Poe, and Deal. I blame y'all.
That's Poe and Deal sneaking off. I didn't know they left. They just came back with two halves.
So it's like, hey, we running out of alcohol. Poe and Deal go, oh, don't worry, we got it, and pull back up with two handles after everybody was done. And so I go, oh, that's cool because you can take one of them home and we might get through like a quarter of one. I looked up and the first one was gone.
To map it out.
And it was either L or Poe that was open in the second. I was like, what are you doing? But like all that to say, as the second one was being open, Dill, I think it's me, Dill, G, maybe one other person are having this conversation, and Dill is explaining to us the interview process for what he does. He's I don't even know how to describe Dill's job. It's an architect, but he got way more, like every architect that I know is borderline weird and don't have no cool about him. Dill got a level of cool that make you forget that this nigga's a fucking genius. It's the flyest shit in the world to me. And so he's explaining to us how in his interview process, he tested off the charts for empathy. And I literally have not been able to stop thinking about that because, sorry. You're on the podcast. Don't say anything crazy, but say hello to the people.
Oh, hey, Monty.
No, not me. The podcast. Talk to the people.
Hi, podcast fans. How are you?
I'm gonna call you right back.
Call me back.
But I haven't been able to stop thinking about. Sorry, that shit is so loud too. I thought I disconnected it. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that concept because to me, I think L's fucking brilliant. Lex, the shit that you are able to do when you normalize is just like, I can. His thing was talking about cameras before you got here, and I was like, boy, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Like, yeah, that sounds cool.
That's how I be in this room. Like, yeah, for sure, y'all. I'm gonna put this cord in this area right here, though.
When I talk to Poe, and he's just running off these things that are like, you know, this isn't normal, right? But it's just, you niggas just normalize just genius shit. Freak does it all the time. We're in Vegas and we met with B Walk and watching. I stopped engaging in the conversation because I was watching B be in amazement of Freak, and I'm going, oh, all my niggas are brilliant. And so Dill starts talking about this empathy shit and what an attribute and sort of determining variable it is for success for people. Now, present day, wasn't always the case, I feel like. But now, however, to maneuver, to leverage, to level up, to lead, and it's not something you can fake, right? It's not something you can go study it and acquire it, but to do that would take such a long fucking time. So I guess that's the reason why I feel comfortable even saying it and highlighting it as such, because niggas are going to hear it and be like, oh, I could be more empathetic. It's like, nah, that's not how that works. This is definitely not how that works. These are something you can't take away from the niggas who possess it. This is something that can't be it can be prostituted for sure. But you combine that with a level of thoroughness and some real niggas and good fucking luck. Nigga, you pack a lunch because it's gonna be a long day when you run into my niggas for sure. And ever since then, bruh, I can honestly tell you I've been walking around this bitch without a care in the world. And when I say a care in the world, I mean like the fear went away completely. Like I've been working on like removing the fear, but it wasn't until that day when I went, oh, we gonna be all right in a real ass way. I not worried about nothing at all. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed, like, hey man, can we do the podcast after Lovecraft? Nigga, it was 11 o'clock. I'm like, yo, how y'all feeling? Oh, y'all don't want to do it? All right, man. It's good. Like, we're gonna be all right. We're on to something. We're on the right path, on the right trajectory. And I don't even know how we got there. Oh, the spectrum shit. What's serving us? And our commitment to our love for our people is serving us so fucking well, y'all.
That's it right there.
And I just wanted to highlight my niggas, say thank y'all, the listeners, and how y'all tap in and how y'all show up for us in the show, man. Thank y'all. Travis called on Wednesday. That was the conversation I had on Wednesday. That was like the closure to a beautiful day, talking to one of my OGs. Who put me in the game musically and just as a brother, and who was high on the spectrum for empathy. But he was calling. He was like, "Yo, niggas," that like he didn't say nigga. Sorry, Travis. He definitely didn't say nigga. I promise you, he did.
You're not gonna put that word on him.
Not gonna put that on him. But he's like, Monty, bro, stop and hug yourself, cause you're doing some exceptional shit. And I'm like, bro, I can't. He's like, no. Because we'd be in the club, and the reason it's important because we would be in the club. I wanted to DJ so bad, and my brother Davion went up to Travis like, "Yo, Monty be DJing at the crib. They give him a shot." And Travis like, "Show up next week. We'll see. We'll try you out." And I showed up early. My shit was like it's like first day of school. I was excited, and I'm getting this story in hindsight, but he was telling me, he's like, "Monty," he's like, "You know how many people did exactly." Like would say, "Hey, I want to DJ," and he'd be like, "I'll show up next week." He said, "You know how few people would show up?" when I tell him to come next week, and then you just never left, and then you were just a student. So in the middle of a set, he would be like, yo, what's the BPM to that? Don't look. Like, fuck. Back that ass up. Back that ass up. Back that ass up is like 95 BPMs, bro. Like, I'll like now I just hear beats and I go, I know what that BPM is. And so when I met, like, we were in the studio last night, and I was like, Jane, you fuck with Britney Spears, but the Neptune's Britney Spears. She was like, I'll fight you right now, nigga. Yeah, I do. And I played her some shit. She was like, bro, how did you make that? I was like, I just love that type of shit. So it's like, I can mimic it really fucking well, but but find my own voice in the space. And it's just the ultimate level of fandom. And so I share that to share with all the people who have passions. And it don't have to just be fucking music. Like, fuck music, bro. It's all kind of different passions to have, but protect your fandom in the interim. Like, don't be too cool to be a fan and be inspired by some shit. That shit can carry you so fucking far, because it's a lot of people doing exceptional shit. And I am fortunate enough just to be insulated by some of the most amazing fucking people. My guys, my co-hosts on the show, my brothers who are not here, my sisters who are not here. It's amazing. So I needed to share that because I've been walking around with that shit all fucking week. Like, damn, nigga, life is good, but it's fucked up, but it's good. And in the midst of it being fucked up and it being shut down, niggas is like doing what niggas do, figuring it out. So yeah, you guys got anything else? Get the fuck up out of here.
I'm glad we got the front running shit up out of there. So bye bye to the Clippers. Appreciate that.
Don't skim over that.
So glad we got that up out of here.
Sports corner. Talk your shit, G.
Been saying that shit all fucking year,
Talk
bro.
your shit, G.
I be tired of niggas front running and then everybody hop on that fucking board, bro.
Man.
Just because they hate the other nigga that they supposed to be going against.
Man.
Like, bro, you got to get there first. Like, stop trying to skip steps. All the people that thought that once Bragg started winning these championships on different teams, that all of a sudden he was a top nigga in the league.
You heard?
Nah, my nigga, you still got to bypass two
You heard?
niggas. It's still two. One nigga is hurt. The other one is in the championship right now. You get, stop trying to skip steps, bro. You ain't that nice. But yeah.
You ain't that nice.
And then everybody that just joined, just hopped on board, bro. Like, Joakim Noah, get your bum ass up out of here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's just how I feel. So appreciate the real ones finally came to the table, and then all them cats that was over there pretending can go back to the crib and, you know, go back to the drawing board. So we'll see them next year and see if they can
see this coming at all.
and see what comes from that, bro. But y'all got to go back to the drawing board. And then the other thing is,
and that was our sports. That's
update, all I have for
courtesy
that, bro.
LG.
That's all I have for that, bro. I just had to get that off my chest real quick. And then the other thing,
the
other thing is, do y'all like name a more passionate moment than the moment of trying to get your girl back?
No, I'm not gonna do that with you. I'm not gonna do that with you, because we got niggas in trouble talking about niggas falling in love with, like, being upset about behind the side getting up. Niggas was tight.
Oh, I know. That's all I brought that one.
That
Like, they were more
a more passionate moment than trying to get your girl back.
Like, you ain't even that passionate trying to get her in the first place, but trying to get her back though, that's not a more passionate moment than that, bro. Like, that's when she see, like, the real potential of what you got, and then she'll probably never see that shit again. But it's just that particular moment of the get back.
But niggas gotta stop though. I might be telling on myself, but niggas be extra. Start going to church and shit.
I'm telling you, bro, like the full potential of yourself, bro, is right there in that get back moment.
No, nigga, you've never felt. You don't know what being humbled is until you trying to get your girl back and you at Sunday service, bro. And you ain't been to church in 10 years, bro. What am I doing here? Nigga, I'm trying to work on myself.
Swear you heard God the night before. Swear you heard him.
You just talked on it last night?
Oh.
Like, I already got my confession in last night, but I feel like I had to do this shit in front of the public.
Niggas going to church to get their girl back is crazy.
Bro, also being the first person in church, like the first person to go into the room, is nuts too.
If anybody would like to give their life to the Lord today, please come up front. Like, sir, you ain't ever been here before. Hey, I'm just visiting, bro. Slow the fuck down. That's okay. I'm sorry. My mom is gonna kill me.
And then shout out.
I'm sorry.
And then shout out to our new member. And then like, wait, bro. I've been here before. Don't do that.
You see me before.
Don't shame me like that,
Pastor.
bro.
You see me before.
Don't shame me like that.
You
bro.
follow her on Instagram, Pastor. You know I'm with her.
Hey man, it's been a minute, bro. But don't do me like that in front of the public. Bro.
Oh, Mom,
like,
I'm sorry. We didn't mean it. Yeah, Lex Bub. Nothing. Salute to y'all, man. Yeah, thank y'all for rocking with us. Week off, but we back like we never left. Salute to my guys.
Lovecraft tonight.
Lovecraft, please tune in. Lovecraft, tune in.
Also, if you haven't seen it yet, see Antebellum is big time. I don't care what the reviews say. Watch that shit first and then come up with your own decision on it. And then also Ratchet. Watch that shit. That shit's player.
Yes, sir. Just like that. It's been another episode of Meet the Brave. We'll see y'all next week.
Love.
Yes.
Today's episode of the Meet the Brave podcast is powered by none other than Northwest Pizza and Pasta in Ashland, Oregon. Northwest Pizza is donating $1,000 worth of gift cards to Alameda fire victims. We're using all donations from Pizza with a Purpose to feed unhoused and the community who have lost their homes as a result to the recent fires. So please join us in our initiative to band together and support the community who has been displaced, and visit northwestpizzapasta.com. That's NWPIZZAPASTA.com, or follow them on Instagram, NORTHWESTPIZZA, and enjoy the show.